good morning to you all. I'm Soumya Raghavan. Welcome back to my channel. So in the last session we have discussed what is a passive voice and how many kinds of voices are there and what is a voice and how to change from active voice to passive voice, how to form voices and what are the rules that we have to follow while changing active voice to passive voice. So these are the things that we had learned in the last session. So what's a voice? Voice refers to the verb which indicates whether the doer of an action is a subject or an object. See, when do you call it as an active? When the doer of an action is subject, then it is considered as active voice. When the doer of an action is referred in object as an object, then it is considered as passive voice. And we had also learned some of the rules that when we have to keep in mind when we change active voice to passive voice. So what are that 4 rules that I had taught you? The very first one is that, see, the meaning of the sentence doesn't change when you change to active to active, when you change the sentence from active to passive voice. So active in the passive voice change ಮಾಡುವಾಗ so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟರ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. So this is what we had learned. And the second point is that auxiliary verbs will change. I'll teach you even here. Auxiliary verbs change ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. And when you change the third point is that when you change that active to passive voice, the third one that you have to remember is that, see, auxiliary verb, and then the next point that it takes an agent. Active voice in the passive voice ಗೆ change ಮಾಡುವಾಗ subject to ಒಂದು agent ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ. Who is doing that? Geeta writes a letter. Who is writing a letter here? Geeta is writing a letter. Geeta writes a letter is an active voice. When you change it to passive voice, that Geeta has to take a help of an agent. When the agent na help ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ Geeta. So a letter is written by Geeta. That by is an agent, with is an agent, to is an agent. When you use that, when you change that Geeta writes a letter to active passive voice, then that subject, so it takes an agent. The doer of an action takes an agent. So this is the third point. And the fourth point is that very important thing is when you change that sentence from active to passive voice, you have to make sure that the verb will be in V3 form. Past participle alle adu irutte. I told you how to remember that V3. ಒಂದು ಬೇಸ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇಂದ ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ರೈಟ್, ರೋಟ್, ರಿಟನ್ ಅಂತ, that third one what you say is that V3 form, is that past participle form. So this is what I had taught you in the last session, and I told you I will teach you some more. See, here I have written a table. ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಯಾಕಂದರೆ so that it will be easy for you to learn ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದು ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ಯಾಸಿವ್ ವರ್ಬಲ್ಲಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ವರ್ಬಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಟೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಸೊ ಪ್ಯಾಸಿವ್ ವರ್ಬಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅದು ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಲರಿ ವರ್ಬ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರಿಟನ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಲರ್ನ್ ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್. Yes. See, only a single example I have taken, so let's go with that. Now, see here I have completely written the tenses. And here I have written active voice ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು sentence ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. And according to that tenses ಪ್ರಕಾರ present tense, past tense, present continuous, past continuous, present perfect, past perfect and simple future. ಇಷ್ಟನ್ನ ನಾನು it's enough for you. Okay, ಅಷ್ಟನ್ನ ನಾನು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ active voice ಅಲ್ಲಿ sentence ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದರದ್ದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು tenses ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅಂತ passive voice ಅಲ್ಲಿ I have written an example. So you have to keenly observe what are the small changes here. What are the small changes it takes place when the tenses changes. So tenses change ಆದಾಗ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ನಾವು ಬರೀತೀವಿ, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬರೀತೀವಿ, that is what I have written and you have to observe it keenly. Okay, see here simple present tense. Simple present tense ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. What is that sentence? I have simple present tense sentence. See, when you see this main verb noddaglene, you will understand in what tense the sentence is. Writes, yes form tagondaga, that is considered as simple present tense. So when it ends with yes, so it is simple present tense. Okay, likes, writes, eats, all these are simple present. You have already learnt in first PU about the tenses. So habitual actions iddaga athwa what is that universal fact helidaga we use that simple present tense anta. Anyhow, Tom writes a letter. This is an active voice. How do you come to know this is an active voice? Because Tom is a doer of an action. Who is writing the letter? Tom is writing a letter. So Tom is doer of an action and letter is object. When a doer of an action is subject, then it is said to be in active voice. Ade doer of an action konenalli bandaga adu passive voice anta karitivi, but meaning yavadu change agadilla sentence alli. Okay? Now, Tom writes a letter. This is a simple sentence I have written. How do you change that to passive voice? I told you, when you are changing from active to passive voice, the things that you have to keep in mind is that verb. This verb is important when you change that. If this is in simple present tense, you can't change this passive voice to past tense. That sentence will be completely wrong. The sentence will become past. But here no meaning will be changed. So passive voice kuda present tense alli irbeku. Active voice present tense alli idre, passive voice present tense alli irbeku. So the main thing you have to observe is this verb, main verb. So writes a letter. See here, I have changed it to a letter is written by. This is the way you have to change it to passive voice. Now, this is interchange. The letter comes to the place of Tom and Tom goes to the place of letter. Still the meaning remains the same. Okay? Adre, the doer of an action becomes object here. Letter will come to the place of subject. That's it. See, a letter here, the letter is last. Illi naven bartidvi, a letter is written. So last class if sariyagi kelidre you would have understood. So why I have written that is written? Because when you change to active to passive voice, this main verb writes anta naven bardidivi, it takes what it takes. It takes auxiliary verb plus past participle. This is the structure of passive voice. So writes annodu enagutte verb auxiliary verb or else helping verb plus past participle form alli baribekagutte. So auxiliary verb is present tense irodrinda is anta baribeku. Okay, suppose illi letters anta idre now alli are anta baribodu, but it is in singular, letter anta ide. So here auxiliary verb is. I think B forms gottu nimge. So is plus it is written in past participle. I told you, write, wrote, written. The third one is past participle. So this is a structure of passive verb. Plus by. By is an agent. Yarinda letter barita idare. So who is writing a letter? Who is writing a letter annothu important alli. So it's not the letter is writing Tom. Nothing, it can't be done. So Tom is writing a letter. So yarinda by Tom. Okay. So this by will become very important here in passive verb because it is an agent which is indicating that what? That subject, the doer of an action there. Okay. By Tom. I hope you have understood. Here it is writes. So I have written here is written. Auxiliary verb plus past participle plus by plus doer of an action. So a letter is written by Tom. Next one. Simple past tense. I won't say every time the same thing what I have told you now. You understand what I have told you and you just go on with that. Okay, main verb decide ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ passive voice ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಯಾವ auxiliary ನ ನಾವು ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಈಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ವಾಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಐ ಟೀಚ್ ಯು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್. Simple past tense I have written here. So Tom wrote a letter. So now you have come to know wrote is past tense. So while coming here, a letter, again it takes this object comes to the subject place, and so here it is auxiliary verb plus past participle. Why ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಈಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ವಾಸ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದರೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು, ರೋಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ರೈಟ್, ವಾಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್, ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೆಟರ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ವರ್ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಪ್ಲೂರಲಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲೂರಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ವರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಿಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ವಾಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಪ್ಲೂರಲ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಟನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್. ಓಕೆ, a letter was written by Tom. So this is what it changes. This is how it is changed to past tense when sentence is in past tense. Now present continuous. Present ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ I am teaching now. I am teaching passive voice. So when I am talking here, when I am teaching here, now what tense it is now? It is present continuous tense. ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಈಗ ಪಾಠ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಪ್ಯಾಸಿವ್ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಟಾಮ್ ಈಸ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್. ಸಿ, ಈಸ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ is again present tense alide. We are talking about ing form, that is present continuous form. So Tom is writing a letter is present continuous. How that present continuous tense is changed to what is that, passive voice? A letter is being. Look at this changes here. So is annodu enayitu, is being aitu. Is changed to is being. Is being written by Tom. Okay, present continuous alli is writing irodu, sorry, active voice alli is writing irodu, passive voice alli is being, not being. There is a lot of difference between being being and being being. Being being is used for continuous, being being is used for past perfect tense. ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ing ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿನೂ ನಾವು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ing ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ing ಫಾರ್ಮ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಸ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಇರೋದು ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಪ್ಯಾಸಿವ್ ವಾಯ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಲೆಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ರಿಟನ್ ಬೈ ಟಾಮ್ ಅಂತ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Did you understand? In present continuous, is written changes to is being written. Okay. Now next one, past continuous. The same thing. So Tom is present is writing is present continuous. Was writing is past continuous. So past continuous is Tom was writing a letter. He was writing a letter, and that was changed to a letter was being written. Was written changes to was being written. Is written changes to is being written. Okay, even it takes that ing form. A letter was being written by Tom. Next one, present perfect. Present perfect tense. Obviously present perfect andre has, have plus past participle andre namige gottu. So I think you have to recall all the things that you have learnt in first PUC. Okay, now present perfect tense. See, perfect tense alli has plus past participle barodu. Anyhow, Tom has written a letter is present perfect tense. How do you change this has written to passive voice? Has been written. See, don't get confused with being and been. ing form bandide andre adu continuous tense. Been bandide andre adu perfect tense. Are you getting it? Okay. She is writing. Okay. She is she is writing ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಅದು ಈಸ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಈಸ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ರಿಟನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, now a letter has been written by Tom. It is past present perfect tense. Tom has, not had. Tom has written a letter. A letter has been, B-E-E-N, been, not B-E-I-N-G, being. Been written by Tom. Now, suppose ಇಲ್ಲಿ letters ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಇದೇನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, B form, sorry, have form, have ಆಗಿರ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆಟರ್ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ when I am talking just about singular forms, so I have written has been. If it is letters, then I would have written have been. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆಟರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ were being ಆಗಿರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆಟರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ are being ಆಗಿರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. As all this I have written in singular form, I am teaching you in singular form. So a letter has been written by Tom is the way you have to write it in passive voice. Now, present past perfect tense. Present perfect to has written, past perfect to had written. So, had written, how do you change this? A letter had been, same, has been, had been, had been written by Tom. I think ನಾನು ಬರೀ ನಿಮಗೆ ವರ್ಬ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇಡೀ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ಥರ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್, this doer of an action should be in this place of object, okay, and the subject is here a letter, okay. Object to subject ಕಡೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ passive voice ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಯಾವುದು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, a letter had been written by Tom. Last one, future simple tense. Now, Tom will write, future tense, he will write, okay. Tom will write a letter, he will write, he has not written, he is not writing, he has not just finished it, he will write, future tense. So, Tom will write, okay, Tom will write a letter. So, how do you change it? So, future tense ge passive voice alli will na ನೀವು ಏನಂತ ಬರಿಬೇಕು, B form and sorry, not B form, B ಅಂತ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. See, a letter will be written by Tom. Will be written by Tom. Look at this. This write ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಪದ ಪ್ರತಿ ಸತಿನೂ ನೀವು ಬರೀ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ ಹೊರತು it is not in any other form of the verb. It has to be written in V3 form. What is V3? Past participle. This is what you have to, very very important. The main verb has to be in V3 form, that is past participle form. So now, a letter will be written. Tom will write a letter, changes to a letter will be written by Tom. Okay, this is what you change when it comes will. Will bandaga, what you will write, you write it as will be. Okay, so simple present tense is ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So simple past tense ಅಲ್ಲಿ was ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Simple present perfect tense ಅಲ್ಲಿ is being ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Past perfect tense, sorry, present continuous tense, I am very sorry, present continuous tense ಅಲ್ಲಿ is being ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Past continuous tense ಅಲ್ಲಿ was being ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Present perfect tense changes to has been. What's that? Past perfect tense changes to had been plus past participle, okay, and the future tense will changes to will be plus past participle. That past participle form remains the same forever. Only that changes is this auxiliary verb. I have taught you in the last session when I am teaching you the ways to change from active to passive voice. So future simple tense alli Tom will write a letter. Here it changes to a letter will be written by Tom. So this is what I just wanted to teach you. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ತುಂಬ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಇದನ್ನು. ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಪೀಪಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ PUC ಫೈನಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್. ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಫಾರ್ 3 marks. 3 marks ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. But before that, I wanted you to know what is that active and passive voice, and what are the changes that you people have to do before you blindly write the answers in that exam. I hope you have understood. If you have doubts, you please comment or call me personally. So I just wanted you to write complete table in the notes so that it will be very useful for you in the future. ತುಂಬ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಟೇಬಲ್ ಥರ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಯು ಟು ಕೀಪ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ನ ನಾನು ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ ತೋರಿಸಿರೋದು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಓನ್ಲಿ ರೀಸನ್. ಸೊ ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನಾಟ್, ಆಸ್ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ or call me. So until then, take care. Bye.